Robin Redbreast. Merry Robin Redbreast.
Robin, Robin Redbreast, singing on the bough. Come and get your breakfast, we will feed you now. Robin likes the golden grain, nods his head and sings again, chirping, chirping cheerily. Here I come so merrily. Thank you, children dear.
Thus sang Phyllis one morning during the second week in March. In the topmost bough of the old apple tree sat Robin Redbreast, looking altogether doubtful as to whether he liked the little girl's song. But when he saw the grains of wheat which the child was scattering on the ground for his breakfast, he thought better of his doubt. He hopped lower on the branches. He turned his head on one side and looked at Phyllis in a very friendly fashion.
"Come on down,"
Phyllis begged.
"I am so glad that you have returned. I am so glad you came to this very apple tree and sang so strong and loud and clear."
Chirp, chirp, and the robin hopped again nearer. "You see," Phyllis went on, in her coaxing little voice, "my brother Jack, being a boy, said he would be the one to see the first robin this year. But I made up my mind that if watchful eyes and careful ears could help a little girl, I would get ahead of Jack. Sure enough, the first thing I heard this morning was your sweet song. When did you arrive? Aren't you rather early?" By this time the robin was on the ground, pecking away at the grain. As he ate his breakfast, he told his story. "I have been south all winter long," he said. "It is very lovely in the Southland. Food is plenty, the days are long, and the sunshine is golden, bright, and warm. But as soon as the spring days came, I grew restless. I knew the snow was beginning to melt and the grass to grow green in my old home country. I wanted to start north at once. I spoke to my little maid about it and found her to be as homesick as I. So we flew north a little earlier than usual this year, and arrived ahead of the others. We are now quite anxious to get to housekeeping, and are already looking for a suitable place for a nest."
"If you will build near us," said Phyllis, "I will help you care for the little ones. I will give you all the crumbs that you can eat."
"Oh, oh!" chirped the robin. "You are very kind, Phyllis, but I hardly think you would know how to feed bird babies. You see, our babies are so fond of bugs and worms and all sorts of insects that they do not care for crumbs when they can have nice, fat worms. We sometimes feed berries and cherries to our babies. We older birds often eat fruit, but really we like worms and bugs better."
"The robins ate all the cherries from the top of our cherry tree last year,"
said Phyllis. "Yes, we did eat some of your cherries," admitted the robin. "They were very sweet and juicy. There are people who say that we robins are a nuisance and that we destroy so much fruit that they wish we would never come near them. The fact is, we do more good than harm to your orchards and berry patches. Just think how many insects we destroy. If it were not for us, I think much more fruit would be destroyed by insects. And worms and caterpillars would be crawling everywhere. A robin is a very greedy fellow. He eats nearly all the time. I cannot begin to tell you how many insects I have eaten during my lifetime. There are cutworms, too, which live underground. During the night they come out for food. We robins are early risers and often catch the slow worms before they can get back to their underground homes."
"Ah!"
laughed Phyllis. "That must be the reason that we say the early bird catches the worm." "When our babies come," said the robin, "we are very busy indeed. Those young mouths seem always to be open, begging for more food. My mother says that when I was a baby robin, she was kept busy all day long. There were 4 baby birds in the nest. I myself ate 70 worms in a day. My brother and sisters had as good appetites as I."
"Will you build here in the apple tree?"
asked Phyllis.
"I should so like to watch you. Besides, there is a garden just beneath with millions of bugs and insects there."
"Oh, yes," replied the robin. "We shall surely build there. You will find the robins like to build near your home. We have a very friendly feeling towards people. That is the reason that we hop about your lawn so much, and that we waken you by singing near your window in the early morning."
"I have heard that robins are not very good nest builders," said Phyllis. "I was told that a great number of robins' nests were blown down by every hard storm."
"More are destroyed than I like to think about," said the robin. "But my father and mother raised 3 families of birds in their nests last season. Early in the spring they were very busy about their nest building. First they brought sticks, straw, weeds, and roots. With these they laid the foundation in what seemed a very careless fashion, among the boughs. Then, here on this foundation they wove the round nest of straws and weeds. They plastered it with mud. They lined it with soft grasses and moss. In this nest my mother laid 4 beautiful greenish-blue eggs. From the first egg that cracked open I crept out. From the 3 other eggs came my brother and sisters. We were not handsome babies. I don't believe bird babies ever are beautiful at first. We had no feathers, and our mouths were so big and yellow. We were always hungry, for we were growing very fast. Our mouths flew open at every little noise. We thought every sound was the flutter of our parents' wings. They always brought such fine food for us. The robin pecked away at his breakfast for some time before he spoke again. Then he again took up the story of his life. "How well I remember being taught to fly," he said. "How our mother coaxed us to try our wings. How timid and feeble we were. One of my sisters fell to the ground and a great gray cat caught her. Our wings were very weak then and our feathers were still short. I then had no beautiful red breast. It was just a rusty-looking white spotted with black. My mother's breast was not so red as my father's. She was of a paler color, and she sang much less than he. She was a very happy little mother, however, and she chirped very sweetly to her babies. After we flew from the nest, and were able to look out for ourselves, my mother laid 4 more greenish-blue eggs in the same nest. By and by 4 more young robins were chirping about in the garden. Quite late in the season my parents were again nesting, but it was rather unfortunate that they did so. A great storm came up and a branch broke from the tree and destroyed the 4 blue eggs. It was shortly after this mishap that the robins flew south for the winter. My brother, who was always a brave, cheery fellow, thought he would rather stay here. I wonder how he fared. I have not yet seen him."
"I have not seen him lately, but he was here during the winter," said Phyllis. "I dare say you will find him soon."
"Well," said the robin, picking up the last grain of wheat, "I thank you, Phyllis, for this fine breakfast. I will only say good morning. I think you will see me again. Perhaps I will show you where we build our nest."
"I am grateful to you," replied Phyllis. "You see the cherry tree grows beside Jack's window. You might have sung your morning song there."